So let me continue going, guys. I promise most of the stuff, I did spend some time on auto. I did spend some time on auto because on the home side and the commercial side, it's exact same as auto. So as long as you understand the auto side, a lot of things are going to reflect on the home and the commercial. So as you know, home insurance is protect, of course, your home. Easy on that one. No. All right. Any kind of home, any kind of condominium, anything you have like that. Now, this is something that customers come in and they want to ask. We get two kind of customers that come in for homeowners. They're not homeowners, but looking to cover some kind of homeowners. And you just got to determine, are they homeowners or are they dwelling? It's a great question. Does anybody know the difference between a homeowners and a dwelling policy?
Dwelling is only the outside, and the homeowners is the inside and the outside.
Awesome. Give him a round of applause. And he's not even writing home insurance yet with us. He's getting there. Good. I love it. So that's it. The homeowners covers the structure plus the inside content. The dwelling is only the structure, and that is it. So I've seen a couple of times where someone needs a dwelling policy and they actually get a homeowner's policy. And I've seen it vice versa where they're supposed to get a dwelling and they get a homeowners, or homeowners and dwelling back and forth. So you got to be careful on how you write these policies. So what kind of policy do you have? Are you currently insured? Do you have a deck page? And how is it going to be paid? So a lot of people freak out with home insurance, and people don't realize how easy home insurance is. It's way easier. You saw all the questions that we're asking for auto. It's a lot easier for home. And people don't realize it. I'm going to tell you one thing. If you give me your name, your date of birth, your address, and your phone number, 4 things, I can run a home insurance quote with that. 4 things. Once again, name, your address, date of birth, and phone number, I can run your home insurance quote. I do not need anything else from you. I don't need to know the valuation of your home. I don't need to know the square feet. I don't need to know none of that. For about 95% of the customers. For about 95% of the customers. There is that but, right? So overall, let me talk about this. What is that? Name, the address, the phone number, and the customer's date of birth. Now, you're going to see, what do you need to look up a customer? Now, there are times where you want to look up a customer's information, and sometimes you can't find it. And I'm going to kind of cover that with you. So let's say, for example, someone said it earlier. I think it was, I know Esther had said it, right? She said HCAD, right? HAD. What do you call it?
For us, it's HCAD.
HCAD.
Harris County Appraisal.
Yeah, so exactly what she means right there. So every county has an appraisal district. So you got to find your appraisal district in your county and research the information. It's only out of 10 customers that I quote, I may do that like 1 out of 10 times. It's very, very minimum. Now, let me explain this. So let's say, for example, Art comes and Art's the homeowner, and Art tells me his address, 258 South Sam Houston. Now, when I put the address in my system will pick up his square footage. It will pick up the year that it's built. It will pick up everything that I need to know about the house, the value, all that information will pick up. So I don't need to get that information. But for some reason, if Art falls into that 1 out of 10 customer, people tend to start freaking out. George, I can't find it. George, I can't do this. I'm like, calm down. Let's just take a step at a time. So let's research them through the appraisal district. Now we are called Cameron County. So for us, we call it CAD, C-A-D, Cameron Appraisal District. Now, if I do one for Harris County, for example, Esther, her first day was Wednesday. Wednesday, she came in and she was like, "Hey George, I need to run this homeowner's quote with us, for us." I went to the back, and actually that customer was actually one of those counties I went to research. And we researched in the back, and all I do is look for Harris Appraisal District, and it will tell me where to go. And you can do this all through the United States and find out your appraisal district, so it's not hard to do. But you do have to get a little bit of research. So what you need to get is square footage, the year home that it was built, and the value of the home.
But isn't all that information in the tax, when they send you the tax paper, so you can pay your taxes at the end of the year?
It is.
Yeah.
Do you carry that tax paper with you? Nah. Exactly. Yeah, no one carries it with them.
That's the appraised value
Yes.
from, and so a lot of them, for 2019, they don't have the appraised value.
You can use the 20. You can exactly use the 2018. So back to your question. Yes, you can use it from there, but most people don't have it. A lot of people don't bring it in. We use it's faster. If I tell you, well, I need this information, could you get me the tax documents? Yeah, sure. I'll be back in 2 days.
But when we do the home quote, we were using the assessed value.
Well, we're gonna talk about that right now shortly. So
If you're calling somebody and you're calling them to their home or to their cell phone and they happen to be home, I mean, it can be accessed right there and then.
you're calling homeowners to see if they want homeowners quotes? I love it. No. So no. So did everybody get that? I got it. No. So I'm sorry, I'm joking. It was funny in my head. It was only when I said it in my head. So usually customers are calling you that they want homeowners. Now at this point, when people are calling you, most homeowners, they come in person. It's very rare. So the people that call us and we want homeowners quote is already when they have an auto with us. If we tell them we can do autos, they call us and give us homeowner information over the phone. In homeowners, it's a little bit different. People don't call for quotes over the phone really. Most people come in person. Now you may get a few, but for us, a lot of people do come in person for us for the home quotes. Now, when we quote the auto insurance, we tell the customers, hey, we can quote your home insurance. We can do it over the phone. Then yes, we do get home quotes that way. But overall, it's easier to just, the appraisal district's a lot easier for us. And if I tell you, let's do the appraisal district, you can use the tax documents. You can use this document. You can use that document. It's going to go crazy because now you're thinking about 4 or 5 different documents. So if everybody uses the appraisal district, it's a lot easier. So once again, so he had a question about the assessed value, and we're going to talk about that right now. Now, there's a few things that you got to understand about every home insurance and commercial insurance. They go what's called replacement cost and actual cash value. Does anybody know the difference besides reading definitions? Great. Want to read it? What's the difference? Awesome. Air five. Yeah. Good job. So that's exactly what's going on. So when these carriers, when we quote home insurance, I never, ever use ACV. I don't. Even though we're saving customers money, I never give customers ACV ever. I do not encourage it. I do not do it. I tell my agents, you write ACV, you're going to hear from me. And trust me, we only write replacement cost because we do have an option to write either or, but I only write replacement cost in our locations. So let me give you an example. If your roof will cost $20,000 to replace, and let's say 3 years, let's say depreciation kicks in and the value is down to 16,000, for example. 16,000 minus your deductible. Your deductibles, let's say it's $2,000. So 16,000 minus $2,000 is 14,000. So now they're going to cut you a check for $14,000, not including if you have a co-insurance. So let's say $14,000 to get you a roof, but you need $20,000 to fix that roof. What are you going to do? Comes out of pocket, right? You can't get the roof that you want, or you got to find cheaper help or cheaper materials. You got to find a way to fix that roof. $20,000, you're in replacement cost. 20,000 minus your deductible, that's what you're going to get. So overall, the replacement cost is the way to go. And I want to talk about a roof. Imagine this is a house. Big difference. So I never use ACV because of it. I tell my agents, hey, you write ACV. I'm like, you write ACV, we're going to give you a call. We're going to call the customer. We're going to have to know they're on the wrong plan. I hate ACV with a passion. I really do. It's something, I shouldn't say hate. It's something I disagree with for our customers, even though you can save them money. You know, there are customers that come in, I want to save the cheapest deal. I'm going to give you the cheapest deal with what I can offer. I'm going to give this plumber replacement cost because I know what's best for the customer. Because I promise you, If they have a $200,000 home and they're worried about ACV, saving $200-300 a month or a year to get ACV,
What is AC?
actual cash value.
After depreciation.
If someone wants to save $200 a year just so they can save money, but when they're in an accident or the house burns down, you think they're going to be happy when they find out that they can't have the house they had no more?
No, in fact, they'll
When-
be coming in and raising hell with you because you sold them that policy and they needed this policy. over here.
Exactly. Or they have a $200,000 home and they have to shrink it because they can't afford it no more. Or they can't build it the way it is no
It's
more.
called downside.
Exactly what's going to happen. What happens if they have a family of size, family of 5? Does everybody understand how that's going?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't do actual cash value. I tell all and I train, I harp on this all the time. We only write replacement costs. So when a customer comes and tells me, yes, I want the cheapest rate, I'm here to save money, okay, great. I'm going to save you money with the best product for you. We are the agents. We know what's best. I know what's best is replacement costs for our customer.
Replacement
Bless
cost
you.
is very important because if your house does burn all the way to the ground, they will tell you that even though you have replacement costs, they'll offer you an actual cash value if you wanted to have cash. Unless you rebuild the house, you don't get replacement costs.
Exactly. And imagine if you had actual cash values, not even, we had it before. We had a customer that they went through a bank and they actually had actual cash value. And it was when we first started. And when we renewed him, he was getting the exact same policy. And I caught it during the renewal process because I was helping the lender. And when I talked to the lender, I'm like, hey, we're going to switch this policy up. We're going to kind of give them a premium higher. I called the mortgagee, I called the customer, and I told him what's going on. And he was like, no, I want the same policy like before. I'm like, so I called the customer and I told him, look, this is the policy you have, and this is the policy I'm going to change it to. I go, let me give you an example of what's going to happen if you stay where you're at. And the same example I give the example all the time. I go, if your house burns down, this is going to happen. You have to downsize, you have to do this. You're only saving $150 a year. That's only like $10 a month on your policy or your mortgage. It's not a big difference. You don't want to sacrifice that just to save on your home insurance. And I push people to do it. So that's something that you could let our customers know. Now, for the deck page, you're going to see as one of the documents that I gave you. This is one of the deck pages that you got. Now, you're going to see in the package, you're going to see this is another customer. And you see, we got a lot of farmers. We sold this one too. And you're going to see the dwelling. You're going to see is $232,000. You're going to see structures covers B, C, D, and you can see all the letters you have there, right? And you're going to see fence replacement costs, and you're going to see other things here on the side as well, whatever they cover. Now, things here you're going to see is like sewer and drainage contents, next coverage, drainage, water backup, and all that. So let me give an example on everything I do for home insurance. I always quote on a replacement cost, and I always add, and I want you to write this down, I always add water backup. I add it. And we still beat customers with it. So let me give you an example. Steve, you said earlier right now, let's pretend you have a $200,000 home. Let's say you've been there for 10 years, and all of a sudden, plumbing's backed up, water's overflowing, call your insurance, and your inside's flooded. You call the insurance, and they say, you know what, it's going to cost $7,000, but you know what, you don't have water backup. What would you think?
You don't have water backup.
You don't have water backup to cover the Why didn't they tell me? Would you be upset, Steve? That's what your home insurance is supposed to do. It's supposed to protect you.
Water backup is always an exclusion. So you add them with the.
Yeah, so our policies, the carriers that we have to add water backup. It doesn't come built in already. We have to add water backup. Mostly when you add water backup for $5,000, it's averagely, depends on, I'm talking about Texas, other states may differ, but averagely instead of Texas for $5,000, it's about $65 a year. $65 a year. That's less than $10 a month to add water backup. It depends on the carrier, what they have on them. Some of them, it depends if it's coming from underneath the ground. So there's also another one called limited water and steam service, steam overcharge, something like that, like for a water heater and things like that. You have to be on underwriting guidelines for those to make sure that it's covered. Because if you go through, let's say Scottsdale, water backup may include all of it. Wellington, you might have to get 2 different coverages. So you got to look at the underwriting guidelines for that, and we can review them when you get to it. But overall, you want to make sure the customer is covered, because if a customer has a water issue or anything happens, remember, no matter what happens, we're the bad guy if they're not covered. We're the bad guy. And for a $200,000 home, and they want to do a deductible, we're the bad guys. So, and those are one things I tell customers all the time. And when a customer comes in, always replacement costs, always water backup, no exceptions. Does everybody get it? Everybody say aye. Aye. Good. There you go. Everybody's still alive. I love it. Now, this is another deck page that we received as well for this customer, and you're gonna see that this is the same thing. You're gonna see dwelling, 220,000, and all the coverage that are there. So as you see, all of them are exactly the same. They're just different formats on different kind of documents, but everything's always the same. Coverage dwelling, other structures, personal property, loss of use, and other things like that, and you go see in the document. All the exact same. Now, I got a question asked a while back, was from one of my agents, was, man, when it comes to home insurance, there's a lot of letters: coverage A, coverage B, coverage C, D, E, and F. Like, how do you explain these to a customer? It's a great question. Let me help you with this. Customers only care about one thing: coverage A. They only care about one thing: is coverage A. They only care how much you cover my home for and what does it come with. All right, no one's gonna be like, personal property for 50% for $50,000. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I promise you. People they're only gonna care how much their house is gonna be covered for and what comes with the policy. You know, hey, by the way, this policy is coming with replacement costs, which means that if your house is for some reason has a turbo loss, we're gonna be able to help you with this. You know, you're gonna have to just manage your deductible. Amy, you're taking off?
Yeah.
Bye, Amy. As soon as, guys, I want to say bye. They got your car. Bye, everybody. And you guys,
Have a safe
thanks for
trip.
coming down and seeing us. Trying to sneak away without nobody saying anything. Like Jessica, she was like, it's in the back. So overall, as you see, all of them are kind of exactly the same. I just tell people, talk to people, and let them know. People only care about coverage A. You don't have to go off and try to be like Mrs. Know-It-All or Mr. Know-It-All. Hey, coverage A gives you this. Coverage B gives you this. Coverage D gives you this. Dwelling, that's correct. So coverage A is the structure of the building. Now coverage C, which is the personal property, that's always around 50 to 60%, which means that if your dwelling is 220, your personal property is 110, which means personal contents on the inside.
So what happens if the property appraises
Say it again.
higher than what the money?
We're always going to cover it for higher. So for example, replacement cost covers 125% of the home value.
The current market value.
Of the current market value, correct. So let's say, for example, and you asked us earlier about the assessed value. Let's say, for example, I go to the appraisal district and your house valued at 200,000. It doesn't mean much to me because that's what their appraiser is at. The market value may be higher, maybe 250, maybe 260. So usually what I do is if you have a prior home insurance, what I'll do is like, okay, can I see your prior home insurance and see what kind of coverage you got? And someone may already have done the work for you and you see the value is already like at 260. And with that 260, then I know where I need to be at. And most people who will come in will have that information, especially they're coming from Allstate, State Farm. They already know the values. You don't have to do any hard work. All you have to do is make sure that you just get the number and enter into your system. Now, if they have no prior insurance, they have no information, they do not know what the market value is, well, there's some work to be done. I have what's called a 360 evaluation. And the 360 evaluation, what I can do is I can find out the replacement cost of your building. So I can find out within, it takes me about 10 to 20 minutes to figure it out after I enter all your data into the information, and I can pull it. And that document will allow me to give you the quote.
I know the one that we did with TSGA on a prior, they had it at like 51. They said it should be at 161 bare minimum. I mean, they actually told us that the value should have been
160%?
161,000.
Oh, well, let me explain. Because so what TS, and this is the thing I like about with them, they do their own valuations at the back end. So that's the reason why they give you 24 hours. So when you do a quote through them, they're telling you, hey, this is the estimate. When they do the final quote, they'll readjust it for you. So that's the reason why it's like it's something that those prices you should not present to the customer. All you're doing is sending it off to the customer. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. They run the numbers, and then once they tell you 161, it's final price. They do the valuation for you. So it's good. And since we're by the coast, we're by the coast. So what they do here is they check how many miles exactly you are through a system. And the farther you are from the coast, the bigger discount you receive.
So, something that came up when I offered a home insurance to someone was, how well do they pay? How long do they take to pay versus Allstate or Farmers? Because I think this person is Farmers. And they said, no, because, my company is, the best one, and they pay off real quick when there's a claim, that is.
Great question. And that is true. Farmers, State Farm, Geico, Progressive, those are all national players, and they're going to pay quick. Now, how quick depends on your loss is, how fast you report it. All that falls into consideration.
But legally should be
No.
more than 60 days after they got
A claim.
the
Well, after
after
they do proof of loss, correct. But they can delay. There's other things that they can do. But let me give you an example. If State Farm pays you in a month, right? They pay in a month for a loss. They can do that. Now, if you go, we have a company called Wellington. It's really big in Texas. They are with what's called an A-rated A company. They're financial strength, which means that they're going to pay claims very quick. Now, we've been using Wellington for many years, and we haven't had any issues whatsoever on claims being paid ever. Now, it's just like an auto insurance. I mean, it could be happening with anything in the home, just at a bigger value. What can be paid out? Why would you go with Progressive versus Mendota? Or why would you go with Progressive versus a non-standard carrier? Why would you go with CPA versus a tax professional? Why would you buy Mercedes versus a Camry?
Sure.
It's all the same thing, right? You're buying the value, the brand of it. So people are not buying it because they're paying quick. They're buying because they feel confident that they're going to pay quick. And yes, they might tear you down and tell you, hey, you know what? They might not pay us fast. Okay, go to Mercedes. They'll tell you the exact same thing. We should buy this car because it does this and this. That's what it's the exact same thing. So you shouldn't, every company has rules. And the rules are, if you have a claim, they have to pay. They have a claim, they have to pay. Now, one may pay faster than another. But, at the end of the day, we haven't had an issue so far with our carriers. If we had any issues, trust me, I'll drop them. Because I don't want a carrier that doesn't pay our customers. It gives us a bad name. And trust me, the carriers that we have are pretty good.
So what is insurance that the bank asks for from the customers when they buy a house? Is the decrease in term? Or because every time that they buy a house, the bank is
They want to make sure that it's correct.
Yeah.
So this part, what they do is they request what's called a binder.
Or is the bank?
Yeah, binder. So let's say when you buy a house, and let's say the house is valued at, let's say 200,000. I'm on this 200,000 thing. It says 200,000. You go to the bank wants to know that the house is properly insured. So what they're gonna do is you gotta send in a binder to the mortgage and let them know, hey, this house is valued at 200,000. These are my documents. The bank is gonna review your documents. They're going to review if everything matches correctly, the replacement cost is great, like everything's okay. Once they do that, they'll certify your replacement cost is correct. And then they'll approve your amount, and then you can close the policy afterwards.
The binder is only for certain time.
Then if you get before 5, you can submit it. If not, you have to wait till tomorrow. And most banks, if it's going through a bank, I promise you, they're calling you like in a month in advance, 2 weeks in advance. They're not coming, hey, we need this today. And actually, I had that happen only like one time to me, and I was hauling ass all day trying to get everything from them. And it does happen rarely, but most people will tell you it's in a few weeks. Right now we have a policy closing on like May 23rd, May 24th, and we did it last week. And they'll tell you, hey, this is going to be, we want to close in about 2 weeks. And we send the binders prior.
What is it called? Endorsements like flood insurance and hurricane. That's separate, right?
Yes and a no. Let me explain those. Let me explain those both answers for you. So first of all, let's go flood insurance. Flood insurance is a federal program through NFIP, and so on a federal level, every state can jump into flood insurance where they'll get a standard rate. So if you are with State Farm, Farmers, Geico, or even us, everybody has one flat rate. No one has better rates than another. There's only a difference between going through us and going through the NFIP directly. The difference is that if you go through NFIP directly, well, you buy through them directly. There's nothing else to it. If you go through us, you get the exact same price plus commission. Plus commission. The carrier will pay you a commission on it, and it's about 15%. So 12 to 15, depending on what state you're in. And the commissions for the flood are a lot smaller. It's like I think in the state of Texas, averagely the highest amount is about $468 for $250,000 in coverage for $468. So it's very minimal. Now, your second part of the question about hurricane, wind, and hail depends on what kind of area you live in. For example, we live what's called in a coastal area, and we're called a TWIA area, which means that carriers have the right to not offer hurricane, wind, and hail in our area. Now, I'm assuming in Florida, since you're surrounded by water, you're in the same thing. So, in our area, we have to buy. There's two things that we can do. We can buy homeowners, but we have to buy hurricane, wind, and hail separate. Now, some carriers offer it to where you can buy together one package, like a bundle, and for us, it's called surplus lines through one of the carriers that we currently have. Now, I told you yes and a no, because if you go to Austin or Georgetown, they don't get hurricanes and winds and hail that much compared to us. So the hurricane and wind is already included in their policy, where they don't even have to exclude it, where they can't even do it because it's already in the policy. Now, for them, like for example, our hurricane, wind, and hail is actually more than a homeowners. Our homeowners could be like, let's say $500, and a hurricane, wind, and hail is like $800. It's a lot more expensive. Now in San Antonio, Georgetown, anything like that, their hurricane, wind, and hail is lower, but the home premium is larger.
And that's mandatory before you close the home.
What is that?
With a hurricane, they have to have hurricane.
No, it's optional. It's optional. Now we do flood is optional too as well. Now we do recommend people get it, but I mean it's optional. Well, it depends on the. Now we tell if you're going through a mortgage, they will tell you, hey, you can have it, you can have it. But we tell people no. So it's not mandatory. As I said, the mortgage will tell you, hey, you need to get it. They won't close the policy without having it. Now, what happens if your house is paid off? Some people don't want to get one in hell. This depends. Now, in your area, yes, you probably have to buy both, or we have to find a program that does both. Good. Any other questions? Great. I sound like that. What's that? Frosty Flake, Tony the Tiger. Great. Now the office forms. Look how fast we're gonna go. We went through all these forms. We went through the home insurance. We went through it. Once again, name, address, phone number, birthday. That's all you need. We went over things to run a quote. Once our system will pick up, once again, it will print valid home, square footage, your built. Always add water backup. Always add water backup no matter what.
How does it make a difference to know? I know that the other information that you need is, how far are you from a fire hydrant or the fire station and all that.
So the carrier, the reps told me that we are in our area. We're kind of spaced out. We're kind of a rural kind of area. It's kind of spaced out for us. So we get fire departments every few miles here. There's one here in San Benito. The other one's maybe like 3 miles from here. When you get into larger cities, they're probably like every certain mile or 2 miles in that range. So, or in every city. So most carriers tell us if the fire station, if you don't know where it's at, you can put anything between 1 and 5 miles. The rates won't change. Now the fire hydrant, usually between 500 and 1,000 feet everywhere you go. Even though no matter what you choose, nothing will happen to the policy. I put 500, I put 1,000, I put 2,000, policy is the same. I even asked them, does it make a difference? I'm like, no, it really doesn't, because even when they do the policy and the appraiser goes out there, they do their own calculations regardless. So it doesn't make a difference. So for sake, honestly, everybody, for the fire hydrant, I always put about 500 feet to 1,000, and then miles to fire station, I always put 2 to 5 miles. One time I put 2, sometimes I put 3, sometimes I put 4 or 5, depending on where I feel is kind of accurate. That's it. Good question. Once again, where to help, just like earlier, you got to get assigned. Once again, consent form, release of liability, got to get signed again. Freedom form, got to get signed again. And now collecting payment. We talked about earlier about how do we collect the payment through escrow or through credit card. So, the escrow is when it be taken from the mortgagee, going to pay it with the taxes in one big payment. So if they want to do that, all we need is a bank information and the loan number. And then we can go ahead and submit it, and they're good to go on that part. Once again, it's the bank information and the loan number. Now, the only thing that's tricky about this is how do you collect your money? Let's say, for example, Jim comes in, Jim's a customer, and Jim's policy is $2,000. Now, I'm going to charge Jim $100 to set this up. But then Jim tells me I'm going to escrow my account. His bank is not going to pay my $100 agency fee. The bank's only going to pay his policy. So I gotta tell Jim, hey Jim, so you're gonna pay in full. That's great. I'm really glad that you're gonna get home insurance for the whole year. But before I do anything, I need to process your payment of $100 processing fee to get this going. Then Jim's gonna turn around and what would you say next, Jim? Oh, say okay. Or Jim could also say, well, isn't my mortgage gonna pay all that? Yeah, and he's like, what is that my mortgage gonna do? Why am I gonna pay anything up front? I'm like, you're right. Your mortgage is gonna pay your premium. You're paying them processing fee to get the process going. It's a fee that we got to pay to set up your account. Okay, great. Where you write the check to, and you go from there. Don't harp on it. Explain it, and go on your life. Life goes on. Now, if he was on this option and cash a credit card, and Jim was there, and Jim was like, I'm gonna pay in full. Great, 1,200, 2,100, whatever price I said before. Applied $100, and then he charge him. Life goes on. You only explain it. You only got to explain it when the escrow gets a little hard to explain. But once again, it's processing fee. We got to start to get your policy started. Now, when you buy a home, when they say processing fee, you kind of don't say nothing, right? I understand there's processing fees. It's kind of a no-brainer on that part. Same thing for home insurance. Processing fee, oh, okay. Pay them out. Everything goes on. And that's it. Any questions?
Yes.
No, go.
So the bank just directly takes care of this other stuff.
The bank will take care of everything. They'll take care of the full payment. They'll do everything you need to take care of.
They'll take care of like directly to the carrier? Or?
Yeah, so we'll tell the carrier the mortgage information, and then the carrier that we got will bill the carrier, and they'll exchange information and they'll pay each other. And if they don't pay each other for whatever reason, they'll contact us. Hey, they didn't pay us. We're to cancel the policy, and then we'll be in contact with them. Because it can be something easy as you put the wrong information, you put the wrong address, and they never got the notification. Yeah. Or the binder's going to be date. Yeah, there's many reasons what can happen. As long as you give the information, they give it you correct, type it in, you'll be fine. Or even, they move the date too, things like that as well. And you can anticipate some of these. There are times that I issue like 4 binders for a customer. You issue a binder, we're gonna postpone the date. Okay, issue another binder, Like, when are we gonna do the sale? We're gonna do the sale, but it does happen. Eventually, I mean, you should be excited. People are buying a home and they're looking for you for help, regardless how many times you issue a binder. Once again, how do you keep all your documents? We went over that. And that's done for home insurance. Was that easier? That was easier. Ooh, you hope the rest of the presentation's this way. How was that? Was that better? Okay. Okay, now we're down to 4 hours. Good. So now we're gonna go into the commercial side. Once again, it's pretty easy compared to most of it we already covered. Understanding commercial insurance. There's a big opportunity in commercial insurance where I see a lot of people don't take advantage of that. And I say all the time. I hear it because I do see all this. The commercial game is a big game to be in. It's a big opportunity to be in where you as business owners know other business owners. And this is where you need to lead in this area. I do believe that your agents may not be the part of the go-to people unless your name is Esther. Unless your name is Esther. But in most people, most franchisees will be the go-to people in this where they're going to be getting leads. They're going to know other business owners where they can attract that business. And so general liability protects business owners against claims, a liability for bodily injury, property damage, and personal and advertising injury, and false advertising. So type of customers that we could cover. So these are some things that we can cover. Basically, we cover anybody. They do their alarm installer, cover apartments, bars, catering, churches, condos, daycares, flea markets, anything you could think of, general contractors, we can cover. There's very rare amount of people that we can close. Recently, we did a martial arts. It was like a jiu-jitsu kind of class we covered. We do a lot of daycares. We do restaurants. There's a lot of business that you can do. And if you take your kids to daycare, they need insurance. Well, you better hope, right? Because your kid's going there. Things like that. These are places that need insurance. So overall, it's a big market. So let me give you an example. We're with a customer, and we were doing a policy. And the policy that they called me, hey, this policy was, they couldn't insure it anywhere. They're like, hey, we need your help. They can't get approved. I was like, okay. I reached out to the customer. And I was able to find them a carrier. And when I saw the policy came in, it was like $8,000. And I was like, ugh. And well, I don't know what they're actually paying, So I talked to the customer, like, hey, so this policy is $8,000. And he's like, that's it? And let me send you a check. And I was like, okay, make it 9,000 and put George Niño on there. And so we went, we did the policies for 8,000. I charged them an agency of $500. Charged them $500 agency fee, and we got the policy going. So anyways, down the road, the business started expanding. So the renewal came up. So I called the customer. I told the customer, hey, is everything okay? Is everything the same as last year? And she's like, you know what? We had a pretty phenomenal year this year. I'm like, great. Well, we started talking about it. And she was telling me how much her business grew. She got more contracts. She got more employees. I reran her a quote. And from 8,000, close to 8,000, policy went to 18,000. So I started freaking out again, like, oh. So I was like, okay. So I talked to the customer. She's like, 18,000? I'm like, she goes, that's way too much. I go, I have no other carrier, fortunately. This is the only one that's going to cover you. And she's like, why? And I go, let me explain. So when we first started, you're paying payroll X amount of dollars. Now it's right here. You told me you're making X amount of dollars. You're 5 times the revenue you're making now. And she was like, well, you're right. We're making more money, so we got to pay more money. I get it. She's like, so where do I send the check to? I'm like, okay, well, the down payment's going to be, I think it was like maybe like $8,000. And she was like, no, pay in full. And I was like, oh, I like you. So we closed the policy, and I charged another $500. Yeah. So you see the potential in the commercial is huge, but it's only huge if you take advantage of it. And once again, business owners. If you have a store and you see a restaurant right next to you, you see a bar, you see a daycare, that's a lot of opportunity that you got. Art, your car's dealership, right? How many more dealerships do you know? How many friends do you know? They're buying insurance. They're not buying from you. There's an issue. So, I mean, those are people you can hit up, right? Though you have friends that are business owners. If they're not buying insurance from you, they're giving somebody else money. They're giving some. Do you have insurance? I'll sell you insurance. But overall, someone is buying insurance from somebody, and if it's not you, you should be that person. So overall, once again, this is a big game, and we are growing really phenomenal in this as well. Once again, about 2 years ago, we kind of sucked at it, where we'll get here and there, and I was like, okay. Last year was a really good growth. Last year on it, where we started getting a lot more business, and this year alone, it's already May, and we already surpassed the numbers we did last year. And we've been getting commercial policies like crazy. And just think about it. We're not even, like, we don't market on Facebook. We don't pass out flyers for this. We don't do any of that. And I'm like, well, where are all these commercial policies coming from? And then we found out, because we started calling them and asking them, hey, I got your policy. There's been great. I'm really glad you did business with us. You know, I really appreciate your partnership with us. I just want to call you, let you know everything's okay. And just let you know, welcome to the Freedom family. I just want to tell you, thank you for putting your trust in us. And then they give us a response. Then at the end, I started asking, so, by the way, how'd you hear about us? And they're like, oh, by the way, we did your taxes with us. Oh, really? Okay. And then we find out, oh, I got an auto quote from you. I didn't get a quote, so I decided to do a commercial policy. Or we did an auto policy and we got a commercial policy out of it. That's how we're getting our business, by referrals.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, wow. And, you know, and so this year we've been hitting it hard, and we're like, we're not even marketing for this. And I'm just like blown away right now by this. And so we're gonna market. We're like, man, what can we do for market now? So just think about it like that. It's a really big game. And once again, we got to focus on, or you can focus on it. And there's procedures that have in place to making sure that making sure that we understand what we're doing. So once again, commercial is just like home insurance with replacement cost and actual cash value. I never offer ACV. I always give replacement cost. Now, if you ever get a policy and you send it with ACV, which is actual cash value, they will quote you on actual cash value. If you send it first time in a replacement cost, they will accept it and they will send you the premium, which is great. So let me give you a reason why. If you do replacement cost and then you're like, man, I screwed up, let me switch it to the replacement cost, they're gonna send you an email, hey, show me why you want to change it. And it's just a lot more work. You're adding work to yourself. You're adding work to yourself. Where if you do this first, they send you the price and you close like this without verification, without sending more documentation. So for example, this actually happened a few days ago. An agent reached out to me and I told him, hey, write a replacement cost, do the building. Well, she decided to do ACV. And I'm like, how'd you get it back so fast? Well, I don't know, sir. It's what they send me. I'm like, okay, send me what you got. And also I saw ACV on it. I'm like, why is it ACV? I told you replacement cost. Well, sir, he told me he wants to he wants to save the most money. So I did that from him. I'm all like, but remember, we do what's best for our clients. You know, they own a business. They can make hundreds and $100,000 a year. They can make multi-million dollars. And if you cover them incorrectly, what's going to happen when something goes down? And then she was like, oh, what could I do? I go, switch into replacement cost. We send the email out without the documentation, thinking that we can slide through the system. I got an email back saying that they need documentation. So now she was like, well, now I want a replacement cost. Now I told the customer he wants replacement cost. I was like, unfortunately, I'm in convention now. I can't help you now. So now I told her the steps what to do. Do it on your own, and my girls will help you when they have an opportunity. But now she's in that position, and now we can't do anything about it. So you really got to get it first into making sure that you understand the difference in that part. Hope the replacement cost is in your head, because I'm on the replacement cost quite a bit. So next, this is the procedure that you're gonna have. It's gonna be listed on your portal. You need to follow this. If you follow this, you make my life easier. You make your life easier. Everything gets processed correctly, the best way, the fast way, and you won't have any issues with anything. When you don't follow this, it's a lot harder for me to help you. So let's say, for example, let's say Robert, he gets a policy, he sends it in, he doesn't let me know what's going on, he gets documentation. Robert, do you know what a court forms 125 or 126 is? No? Okay. Mato, do you know what court form 140 is? No? This is exactly what happens. Esther, do you know what a court form 40 is?
Not the 40, but I know the other one. I found out the hard way though.
So let me explain these forms. If you send things in, I get notifications when things are about to cancel. So Robert gets a policy. Hey, I need forms 125 and 126. And then he's like, hey, George, I know what this is. Well, what is this? What'd you send in? Well, I did a policy. I need some information. Now I go, send me everything you sent. So now he has to go back, send all his emails back and forth. And then I had to figure out, I had to ask more questions because I don't know what's going on. Then I had to call a customer And then, you know, people are like, why are you calling my customer? And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to go back and forth. It's a bigger issue. And so you have to make sure that I'm in the loop on this because I'm here to help you. I can make the process so easy to where it's very minimal communication back and forth between you and the carrier. Make sure you don't send it over and over again. And also I can make sure that everything gets done correctly. So once again, these are the steps. Fill out forms. We'll go over the form shortly. You're gonna send it to commercial@Freedom Policy. So where does the commercial policy goes to? It goes to me and my girls in the back because my girls are gonna review it. Everything you send in, they're gonna review it and they're gonna make sure that it's done correctly. When it's done incorrectly, they're gonna send you back an email what's missing. So the process can go faster. And then we're gonna submit it in about 1 or 2 days. You will get a response on the quote, what the quote's gonna be. Commercial is not like auto. You can't walk in with commercial, 10 minutes later, hey, I got a quote for you for $2,000. Doesn't work that way. Commercial is a waiting game. Commercial is a game where people come in, they have to wait to get a quote. So when you get that information, you tell the customer, okay, well, we'll have it within 24 to 48 hours and we'll come back with you. Now, I tell everybody 2 days. I don't say 24. I always say 2 days. We'll have it in 48 hours. Just an extra day to process to make sure everything's correct. Now, let's say, for example, Al comes in and Al goes, why 48 hours? You know, all I do is pressure washing. It's easy. Pressure wash, do some mans. I go, okay, you're right. But you have risk. You're driving, you have a machine. What happens you're on a roof? What happens you hurt somebody? There's liability. And I tell Al, I tell him, I'm like, okay, Al, well, let me ask you this. I go, I have 10 carriers. You want me to get you the best rate? Or would you want me to get the first rate that I see? That may not be the cheapest. No, we'll get the best rate. 48 hours. Now, that's basically it for that part. So binding, once we bind, we'll issue the binder to the customer. We'll issue the binder. We're gonna submit payment to the carrier, which you get 15 days to do. We'll fill out all the court forms and you get a policy within a week. So this will be sent out. You're gonna have it on the portal. You're gonna see it there. But this is the process that we need to follow. So please look at it. Please follow it because just so you know, I notified all our commercial carriers. If you don't follow it, to email me. And I hope they do because I've been really adamant on helping y'all in growing this. Okay, so next we're gonna go with the deck page for the commercial side. We're almost done, guys. That's for the next one is gonna be the USIC. That's the deck page that you currently have. And basically that's how it's gonna look. You're gonna see, does anybody know how to read this? You don't have this document? The USC, how much, what are the limits for this policy? If someone, what is it? I heard 2 million and 1 million. Which one is it? 2 million?
What was the question again?
So, yeah.
What was the question?
Okay, so let me ask this. The limits for this policy, who says it's 1 million, raise your hand. 1 million, I see 3 of y'all. Who think it's 2 million, raise your hand. So what about the ones who didn't raise your hand? What do y'all think? 2 million. Okay, so yes, so this policy is for $1 million. So right here where it says your each occurrence for $1 million, that is the $1 million, that is your limits. Your general aggregate. Does anybody know what a general aggregate is?
No.
That's the max will pay out for a whole year.
Okay.
That's the max will pay out for a whole year. So for example, if you have a claim for each claim they're gonna pay out, they won't exceed the 2 million mark. So if you have 3 claims in a year and exceeds 2 million, once it's 2 million, the rest you got to pay for out of pocket. Now, if you have more than 2 claims and $2 million, there's an issue going on there. There's an issue going on there. But this is a $1 million policy, and I want to give the exercise with you because as you see 2 million, 1 million, all these things going on, you want to make sure that it's correct because sometimes if someone tells you I did a trucker the other day, and they're driving on the road. They need to have a $3 million policy. And if you do a $3 million aggregate, they only have like 1.5 million, and they're underinsured. They won't get the contract. If you go with someone that has a general contract and they only 2 million, and you give them $1 million, and they're going for a bid, they're going to lose the bid because we didn't insure them properly. So you have to make sure that you give them the correct limits.
So the limit is just $1 million.
Exactly. This is $1 million coverage. Now,
The quoting form, is that option available to put what we need?
yeah, it's right here. So you see these 2 forms you have right here? These 2 forms that you have, the 2 blue ones? This is your quoting forms. Now, the quoting forms, you're going to see the commercial general liability, and you can have the commercial property quote. These are the 2 main quotes that you're going to need. Honestly, just so you know, every commercial quote I do, I've only used these 2, and I can run every insurance quote with these 2 quotes. So easy. You don't use this, it's harder. So general liability, once again, it's only when you're protecting for bodily injury, slander, liability, and all that good stuff. The commercial property is for the building. You want to cover the building itself. If you want to have general liability plus the building, then you need to get a combination, a bundle package. For example, if we own this building, so we need property, right? We cover property, and we can also cover personal contents, everything on the inside. Now we're the entity here, so we also need the GL. So we need a GL plus property. Now, if I am just a tenant, am I only the tenant? Do I need to cover the property? No, because I don't own the building. So I only need GL, right? So if I'm the landlord, do I need to cover the property? Yes. Do they need a GL? Yeah, for what they're doing, right? For them renting out the buildings and all that, right? Good. So does everybody get the picture on that? Perfect.
What's the difference with Bob?
I'll get to that one right now. So equipment, the equipment's in there in the commercial property. So depends on what line of business, you can cover it to like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. Let the $1 million coverage, we can cover it as well. Yeah, we got to fill out some accord forms and get the equipment covered.
So for someone that is a tenant, we will be submitting the GL with the property quote or
So-
the contents?
If they're a tenant, they only do GL.
Okay, so they won't have to be able to put coverage on their, like property, like their, printing equipment.
On the GL, you can add it. You can add it on there. Yeah, that's correct. So
Bonded insurance?
now the BOP insurance, the BOP, huh?
Bonded insurance, so they have to put a bond down?
Oh, that's something different.
Yeah, we do it.
Oh, do we do? I'm sorry. Do we do it? We don't do surety bonds. Yeah, we don't do any bonds yet. So did you ask about a bond or a BOP? A BOP. So a BOP is called a business owner's policy. So a business owner policy is a combination of a policy where it gives you a lot of good features. Sometimes it will do a cover. It's like a GL, but it gives you a lot of good benefits, such as let's say forgery for money, burglary, vandalism. It gives you a lot more features, a lot more benefits for you, and also sometimes at a cheaper rate. Since, was that? Income, we do it as well. For our policy, we do income replacement as well. So everything that a BOP can do, we can do. The only thing is that BOPs are only given through admitted markets, and since it's given through an admitted market, it allows you to get more benefits, more features at a lower rate. What was it? It's an admitted market. Admitted. Yeah, so basically it's like a standard market. It's regulated by the state of Texas. So since the BOP is regulated, the rates that they give you better. You get more features. You can get more features for your plan at a cheaper rate. Now BOPs are better than what some of these things that we do got here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: BOPs are not for everybody. You can't just go and buy a BOP anywhere you got. It has to be the sign of service. So BOPs only target specific services in your area. So BOPs target only small businesses. Yeah, BOPs only target small businesses. They don't focus on large businesses whatsoever. And BOPs only focus on low risk. Like, for example, office jobs, things like that, BOPs will focus on.
Doesn't it have to have like a certain number of employees?
Oh, that was the question I was gonna ask.
Depends on the carrier. Some of them only tell you you can't make more than 15 million a year, some things like that. There's rules to these BOPs. Now, we do have one carrier that offers BOPs, which is called USLI, and we do offer BOPs through them. BOPs, we don't write a lot of them. We do about a few. I think last year we wrote about 3 or 4 of them. It wasn't that big because some of the other markets, well, let me put it like this. A lot of the quotes that we've been getting have been high risk. So BOPs won't qualify for them. So, yeah, but we are getting, as Progressive was talking about it, I don't know if you picked it up earlier, but with the commercial, we're going to able to offer CGL and BOPs through them, which will be pretty amazing, depending on what kind of market they're in.
What was the name of the carrier you said?
USLI.
USLI.
That's correct. Good. So,
One of the big things Bob's do is they supply you the lawyer. They supply you money for
will they? Oh, okay. Just so you know, we don't write a lot of BOPs, and we only have one carrier that does it, so I'm not familiar with it 100% of what they do in debt. But some of the policies that I do seen what they can offer. I don't think I saw the lower one in there. If it is, then I probably overlooked it. But yeah, it probably could be in there. No, well, a BOP is like a GL. A BOP is like a GL. Yeah. Okay. So over in that, so the office forms, we got all the forms all over again. We got the CGL. I'm sorry, the GL, the consensus, flow tax information, all the forms again. We go through them again, but yeah, exact same forms we did earlier. And you're gonna see all the forms that you need. Once again, it's very repetitive on this. Okay, everybody got that? Was that faster in commercial side? Whew. Oh man, I'm on fire right now. Okay. Okay, so what time is it? 3:37. So I got a few more parts on this. I promise you guys, I'm almost done. I'm going fast. Ooh, a few more pages and we're done. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna let me go through one more slide, and then I got 2 more sections and we're done. Hey, I've been cheating, looking at my next screen. So let me give you an example why you should offer auto home. People look for professional in your offices. When you offer more than one service, people are gonna go looking for you for some type of service. And it makes you the professional. It's gonna help you generate traffic through your doors more often. Right now, if your office is dead, well, this is gonna bring more people through your doors. You may not see it instantly, but I promise you, you will see more traffic through the doors. We started off with 1 office open year round. We went to 2 offices year round. Right now we're at 5 offices open year round. So as you see, we're going. Eventually, our goal is to have all offices open year round, but it's a work in progress. And so we can do it. I know you can too as well. It's going to generate more traffic. Customers will always stop by. It's going to increase your customer retention, as what David said earlier. We increase our retention, and we can offer more services throughout the whole year. Now, in the tax business, if you have employees all year, that's great, because when it comes next year, you don't have to train all over again. You have the same employees, and all you do is just kind of work on the new employees coming in. So now when you offer both, you increase premium faster. Most of the services that we offer, as you'll see, we've done, you're gonna see, for example, some of our stores, we've grown premium faster. We charge a lot more agent fees, increasing commissions, charge monthly payments, and free endorsements. I think that's it for this part. Oh, one more thing. So what do you have? Do you have what it takes to win? That's right. I wrote this and it made sense to me when I first did it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, not for the veterans, and I say SR all the time because they're hybrids in stores, but and models as well. You actually go through a little bit different. But for everybody new, for everybody that are newing, if you do $10,000 in premium, we're gonna send you a badass Bluetooth speaker for you. Is that exciting? No, no one wants it. Is everybody excited? Yeah. Well, she wanted last year, by the way. She wanted last year. So the Bluetooth speaker, every store has a Bluetooth speaker. So someone's telling me in one of the room is, what do we have in our bins? We have a bin. They go to the flea market. Every office has a Bluetooth speaker. So when they're at events, they're not boring. It could be some music going around, things going around. So Bluetooth speaker is amazing to have. first order hit $10,000 in home insurance premium, you're gonna get $10,000. $10,000. Oh no, calm down. Let me backtrack a bit. You're gonna get $100 in free marketing supplies. Also, if you do $15,000 commercial, you also get another $100 in marketing supplies. We want to give a lot of marketing supplies to you to help you grow your business overall. That's a $200 value plus another $150 value. The $350 value, all have to do is just produce, given to you. And I promise you, wherever you're at, we'll ship it to you at no cost. I promise you, I'll deliver them back to you. No joking. So, okay, we got your address. Okay, so now I'm getting to the end of the presentation. So we're gonna take this is gonna be a next page. Is gonna be really amazing. So I want you to take a 10-minute break. It's 3:50, and we're gonna continue from there. Thank you.
No music?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, one sales at a mall. Two steps. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay. Oh no, it's a Google first name. Yeah, once we're done, I'll let you know. Oh, yeah, I'll be done like in 45 minutes maybe, and then 45 minutes, then David needs to say something. And that's it. Well, you know what? So, what time is it? 4. Well, we've been like 5 hours, 15 minutes. Okay, guys, everybody ready? Yeah. Okay, so how was everybody's break? Was it long enough? No. Not long enough? So I know I said 10 minutes, but I know y'all thinking about beer and what's happening next, and I get it. Trust me. Trust me. Ours, like, I'm already drinking, so overall, guys, we're almost done. I got just 2 parts left, and I'll be complete already. And little did you know, I cut this presentation quite a bit. I've been trying to hold back a lot. I've been trying to downsize this a little bit. I'm really trying my best. So overall, I have a question. Do you think I'm going too fast for you, or is it perfect pace? Doing great? Okay. Yeah. Hey, just so you know, I'm not gonna change. Just wondering what you thought. Okay. Great. Okay. So this part is one of my favorite parts. Is going over my fix. Oh, not my fix. Our fix. It's like my baby, Jesse. It's like my baby. So about a year and a half ago, we noticed that we're losing a lot of customers, our current customers, and we didn't know why. And, you know, as I said from the beginning, we weren't perfect. And what we noticed was agents weren't calling people, weren't following up with our customers. And overall, we lost a lot of customers. And, you know, I told agents, are you calling? Yes, I'm calling. There was no notes anywhere. There was no way to document it. There's no way to have accountability for it. There was no way to monitor a lot of things. Because why? Because we didn't have a CRM to keep track of all this. So the only thing you can do is just take the word for the employee. You know, you see calls going out, you take their word and just try harder. But overall, we noticed that we need to change that. And for this last year and a half, we've been focusing on a system to give us all the information that we need, and something that we can keep customers' information in one location where we can see things instantly. Now, we have a system called Freedom Insurance Customer Experience. Winning customers for life. I love it. And so the system that we have is something that does all that. And when I thought about this, I had to put my focus in certain areas. And once again, this is a work in progress. It's not going to come in. It's not going to be perfect. But I promise you one thing. I'm working very hard every day to making it easier, to making it simpler, but overall, to give you, the agents, a really wonderful experience. So when I think about the Freedom Insurance customer experience, there's 2 experiences that I think about. The first experience I think about is my agents. And that's all of you that I work hard for every single day, and in making sure that you can keep track of your customers. And you can come into your office every day, and Al could walk into his office and be like, how much money am I making? How much money am I losing? Where is it going? How can I get it back? It's a few things I have in my mind every single day that I come in. And the other customer experience I'm focusing on is the customer. And is our customers being called? Are they being text messaged? Are they getting the experience that they need to making sure that they made the right choice in doing business with us? So I got 2 kind of customer experiences that we focus on. And so when I created the system, we bought the system and we made it ours, that's what I focus on every single day, making it better. So overall, I'm looking forward. I'm going to present this to you so you can take a look at it.
You need a special password also.
What was that?
To get into FIC, you need a special password.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Password.
So we put it up from our portal or from Google?
No, this is regular internet.
Does it cost anything?
We'll get to that in a bit too.
Sass.
Huh? It's not working.
Karen,
Does it have to have the X in it? You can put the search bar, you want to see.
Got my CX. Yeah.
And I just logged in earlier. Give me 1 second.
Log yourself out, boy.
Okay, let me see this.
Karen Martinez.
It's from North Carolina.
Huh? Let me see.
Karen.in. I guess it's not Karen.in.
No, it's.
We're from North Carolina.
I swear I put in that password. I swear I did. Okay. So there's 2 things I want to show you. So the first thing we're going to show you is some cool features that I got going to your. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so first of all, before we do anything, this is one of the PRC Go boards that we currently have right now that you're gonna have in all your Go boards so far. And you're gonna see where we're at right now for the month. So these are our stores. You're gonna have one based on your stores. If you have 3 locations, we can make one for every single location. If you have 1 location, we're gonna have one for one location, but you're also gonna have another one, and it's gonna be where we're at as an entity. Because I do believe we all need to shoot for one goal. And the goal that I want to hit for the year is hit $2 million in written premium. And that's what we're going to focus on, $2 million in auto premium. So once again, we can do it all together as a team. And so once again, these are our stores. You can see this number. This one is actually very high because once again, it has has some commercial policies in there as well. But overall, this is what you're going to see on your goal board. And you're going to see what your goal is going to be for your location on this every single month. And if you want to grow your office, you got to think about, am I growing? You know, I got the same amount of traffic. I'm hitting goals from last month. That's good. That ain't good. You always want to be seen growing every single month. So this is one goal board that we do have that once again, it's going to be on your portals. Now, besides that, this is going to be fixed. And fixed right here is, once again, it's right there. Look at that. Woo! Is that sexy or no? Yeah. Wedding customers for life.
And the screen too.
Yeah, good. Look, the speaker? That's right. That's right. So the first time we're gonna go to the top part. You're gonna see the inbox, certificates, and calendar. One thing on the right side you're gonna see is you're gonna see the expired and you're gonna see the renewals. Now these dates are posted 30 days in advance. So for example, the next 30 days from today forward, we have 112 renewals that we need. 112. So that means a lot of customers that we are up for renewals we got to take care of. And as you're growing, that number is going to go larger and larger and larger every single month. Expired. Expired means that those customers, they completed the policy with you, but they haven't renewed a policy, an active policy with you. That means they stopped paying it, they completed it, they stopped paying it, they went somewhere else or for whatever reason. So those customers you would want to call and you want to let them know, hey, you know what can we do to get your business going again? Once again, you're gonna have an annual goal. Once again, Annual goal is $2 million. Right now we're at 330. This 330 is only us alone. When we had all your stores on there, I think right now should be around 600,000, somewhere in that range, maybe a little bit more. But overall, I do think that once I had everybody in there, we can hit this goal. Now, this only works in one condition: if you follow your sales log, if you follow your information, if you do everything that we ask, I can track it properly. If we can't track it properly, it's really hard for me to see where we're at, and I won't get accurate numbers. So sometimes you'll see the number go, and sometimes you see it spike up. The reason why is because when you get commissions, I'll find out how much you write. So if you don't ever do it, I'll eventually find out, but it won't be too later. And I want to kind of see as we're going. So once again, we started writing a lot more bits. So from every year that we've been growing, we're in 2019. From 2017 and 2018, we grew about 75% from 2017. We grew in a large rate. Right now in 2019, compared to last year, we increased about another 35% already so far in the year. We're growing at a phenomenal rate. And after June for us, compared to last season, February, March, April, May, and June, these 5 months have been phenomenal for us. Once June comes, it kind of trickles down a little bit. Why do you think it trickles down in June or beginning of July? Vacation. People are taking vacation, back to school, graduation. There's a lot of things going on. So people tend to forget about insurance. So you'll start trickling down from there. And then from October, November, December, you see it going back up again. So once again, we'll get this number. We'll be updating it. Our right now for the renewals for the year, our goal was 300,000, and we're at 151,000 right now. Now I anticipated, since I never really tracked renewals, I didn't know what was a good number. So I got one of our numbers from last year and be like, okay, sounds like a good number. I really did, because I didn't know how much it was. Now that we're writing so much, I see that we're actually renewing at a phenomenal rate. So I'm not going to increase that goal to 300. I might increase it to 500 to 600 later on in our business. So as we're seeing this, I'm seeing as we're growing, what rooms opportunity we have on these numbers. Now, right here, so our current sales goals for the month. You're going to see about 90,000. Some policies right there, and renewals, we have $10,000 in written premium. You're going to see where you're at for the month. Now, this is where I think is real phenomenal at this point. This is where I kind of tell everybody, you want to know every day how much money you're making, how much money you're losing. Where could I find that money? It's what you want to find out. So, for example, right here, you're going to see in the past due payments, in the last 5 days, we lost $1,600 right there. Does anybody think that's a lot of money? It's a lot of money, right? And between 6 and 15 days, we lost another 4,500. So between 4,500 plus another 2,000 over here, it's a lot of damn money. $7,000 that we have not collected. Is that a lot? Imagine you're writing $7,000 imagine if your office is writing $7,000 in premium, then you lose $7,000 from collected premium. You basically didn't grow. Basically what happened. So it kind of sucks, right? So you want to decrease that number as much as possible. I'm gonna tell you one thing, if you think it's a lot, it was a lot worse. We've been chopping it down, we've been stopping the bleeding, we've been doing phenomenal on getting this number down. Now for us, it's still a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's gone down. Still unacceptable, but we're doing our best to get it as low as possible. Now, you're gonna see here, now let's say for example, past due payments, if you click it, it says 17. Now you're gonna see all the payments that are due. All 17 payments with 10. You're gonna see all 17 payments that are due right there, and you're gonna see by due dates. So you're gonna see from the 16, 15, 14, and the latest one. So on the 12th, you're gonna see 12, 12, 13, 13, all the dates there on where they're at. And right here on the side, you're gonna see the contact name of the customer, the agent, and the carrier. On the right side, you're gonna see the policy number. Is that what you want in one section? You want everything in one location. Now you have it. It's all there for you. All you have to do is document to look for it, and it's really easy at that point. You have to make sure, give me 1 second. So all you have to make sure all the information is there. the dates when it's supposed to be made. And as you see, we have a lot of, for example, you see Snap, Apollo, Snap, Mendota, ACC, Snap, 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 and Wellington for home insurance. We're very big Snap in our area. We write actually a lot of business with Snap a month. So we have a lot of Snap policies.
If you click on the person's name, does it give you their phone number?
If you click the person's name, it takes you to the profile. Yes, and the customer's phone number is in there. That's correct. And you see everything about the customer's profile in there as well. And we'll be doing that shortly. Now, as once again, you see here, now we got the upcoming payments. So for the upcoming payments, you're going to see right here where for this week, it always is from today's date to Sunday, always. If it's Monday, Monday to Sunday. If it's Wednesday, Wednesday to Sunday. If it's Friday, Friday to Sunday. Everybody get that? Perfect. So that means between here and Sunday, we have another $2,000 some dollars to pick up. Next week, we have 70 payments to take. 70 payments to take, and we have what's like 5,000 plus 2,000, $7,000. And then the week after, we have like another $7,000 coming in. So you see now in the next 2 weeks, we have over 150 payments to take. Now, Jesse, yes? Okay, so that's $14,000 in payments we're gonna take, plus another 2,000. So when I look at this, I'm like, it's a lot of money. And so this allows us to keep track of our customers, allows us to making sure that how much money we have, how much we're collecting, and what we need to do every single day. If you cannot keep track of your customers, if you have 100 customers and you cannot keep track of 100 customers, what makes you think you're gonna keep track of 1,000, 5,000? You gotta learn now that we're still growing. Right now we're over 1,000, and for us it's still kind of complicated, and not because we don't know what we're doing, but because we were trained on we didn't have the system before, so we're used to one way. Now getting everybody used to a different way is different. Right now that you're still learning, you can learn one way and it'll be very easy for you. Versus us, we got a lot of bad mindset. Like, stop it, don't be doing that no more. We're growing, we're getting out of that old ways. So this is really going to help us. Now,
That's including the EFTs?
yes, it's going to be including EFTs. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. Our EFTs are not in here 100%. Yes, we have about EFTs basically when the payments are automatically drafted from the customer's account. Now, right now in our business, we are about a 45% on cash versus EFT. So right now we have a very high, first it's high. We don't know if that's higher compared to company standards. We don't know. But we have a 45% people that are on EFT. Now, from the 45% of customers we have on EFT, they're not on here yet. Because when I did this, I had to focus on certain people. People are paying me cash, or people on EFT that don't see me. That's automatic bank draft. Who would you rather focus on? Cash, right? That's the reason why I focus on this. Now, once EFT in there, my numbers will double easily. So once again, EFT customers are with me about between 55 to 65%. They stay with me on renewals. So I'm not really worried about losing much of them. And if I am losing some of them, well, I'm losing more on cash. So I rather stop the bleeding there and then focus there on EFT. Now, let's say, for example, the upcoming payments, 13. Let's say I click 13, and you see all the payments that are here that are due this week. Now, today, we have a policy coming in for Marco, Mirana, Alejo, Joaquin, and all these customers. So let me see. I did one earlier. I just chose a random one. So I'm going to choose any random one. Y'all give me a name. Choose one. I don't want to think it's fixed or rigged or anything. Choose a name on there. Anybody. Choose a name.
Mary Morin.
Oh, you gave me one. Sorry. What was it?
Mary Morin.
Mary Morin. Where's that? Oh.
From there. I
Yeah.
can see it's blurry. I was just giving you a name at random. Sorry.
Marisol Peña. Okay, great. So Marisol Peña coming in. So she's due on 5/18/2019. I was like, woo! Okay, so 5/18. So when I look at this, what I'm looking for is making sure that they are sending text message out to our clients, making sure that they're following with the clients, and let's see if they put notes on there. Now, you chose the name, so I don't know if they did it. I hope they did because I'm presenting this to y'all, so they're not going to throw a fit. So they're going to learn today. Marisol Peña. Let's click her name. So you see this? So I had a tag on there letting them know that she does auto insurance with us, and also she does taxes with us. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now, so I put a tag on here. I put Liberty Family, letting them know that she does auto insurance with us, and also she does taxes with us. So if you do any service, like if you have health, if you do life, if you do short term, whatever, you can add in a thing on there. So you could put how many of my clients I have on taxes and life. You can put them together and you get a list of them. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, yeah, you can filter them out. No round of applause. Okay, I guess me. Okay, okay, yeah, excited. Okay, so we go in there. Okay, so we're going through the policy right here. You're gonna see the policies right there, and whoop, there's notes. So the notes was done on 5/9 right there, and you have notes right there for 5/16. So look at the note what it says. Is it kind of? Is it me or is it? Is it mine or? Okay, sorry. So like for example, this good afternoon. This is Amanda with Liberty Tax and Freedom Insurance. Just sending you a friendly reminder that your auto payment will be in your bank account on 5/18. If you have any questions pending, reach your ad and reply to this message. So this one is customers on EFT. So she's letting the customer know, hey, don't forget, they're gonna drop the payment from your bank account. Isn't that amazing? She can text the clients from the system, and the system's automatically going to know. The system's gonna keep track of it. Good things about it is that the notes that you put in here can never be deleted. I put a setting in here that admins can't delete it. You can't delete it. Even I can't delete it. The reason why I did that is because if I put notes in there, I don't want to be saying, well, the note disappeared. No. You just didn't do it. Easy as that. And I don't want people putting something in there or talking back to a client through text because something happens, and I want to make sure everything's trackable. There's no glitches in the text and messaging system. So it works great.
So on the client file, like on my call, right?
Yes.
So where it says notes, you're clicking on send you SMS, you're putting in text message it's going to send off. Yeah. And it's going to record it there, correct?
Exactly. So the add new is to put a note into the account, SMS, send a text message to the customer, and also leave a note. Okay. Now, does anybody want me to send them a text message so y'all can check it out? Yeah? Let's try it. Okay. I guess it.
Or we have to constantly.
She's like, it's a lot of work sending messages out. There's always that one. Okay, no, I'm joking. Yeah. So let me. And I gave her assistant a text message. It can be automated now. Like, would like anything else, we'll throw it in there too. So let me answer that question. Right now, yeah. Right now, I'm working for it to be automated. I'm working on it. We started working on it about 3 weeks ago. It's kind of complicated because if you can't text these customers all you want. There's so many rules on it, and so we're in the process of getting it approved, so we won't be in any liabilities in any kind of sort. Making sure that we're following all rules and guidelines. So hopefully, they told me in about 2 weeks. So I don't know, maybe a month. They say 2 weeks, about another 2 weeks afterwards, but it'll be coming soon. Okay. And the only thing is that the whatever the messages say, I don't know if it'll be cool as mine. But hey, so the message that we're sending now, just so you know, the way I send these messages out is, let's say for example, Yami, I'm like, hey, this is Yami from Liberty Tax and Freedom Insurance. I'm looking for Esther. Your payment is past due of $37 on this date. Please call me to make a payment. Call back at this number and whatever you want to say. Now, the messages that we have are already typed out. There's nothing you have to do. All you have to do is copy, paste it, change your name, change the payment amount, change the date, and send. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to stress about it. Just copy, paste, and you're good. You can send text messages out in a few seconds. So let me show you how easy it is. Now, let's say, for example, Joe, would you want to demonstrate for us a little bit?
Why not?
Exactly. That's a can-do attitude. So, LaRonda, you want to come over real quick?
Oh, you want me to come over?
Yeah. Hey, don't bring the Lord into this. No, okay. So. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I'm gonna leave it there for you can see for now. So what I did was I just copy and pasted. Even though if I have a message copied and pasted, Just look at it. I copied and pasted it, right? So you see where it says Amanda Lavanda? Just edit it and type your name there. Oh, lowercase L, uppercase R. I like it. Yeah. Like, look, Ron does.
That's it. That's how it
right.
goes. Yeah.
Okay,
just like
so
that.
she's there, right? The Rhonda Liberty Tax, right? She puts there. Now this number, she can change to any number she likes, and she can reply to this message, right? So scroll down. You see where it says type?
Right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Select it, and you can choose why your text message to the client. Is it a phone in? Is it payment? Is it new business or whatever you like? Dang, she's picking it up quick. Great. Go down a little bit. So let's go insured's phone number. You see it? Click it.
Right here.
Yeah. Now no number comes up. It doesn't populate from the customer's account. Don't know why. I'm working with it. But let's put Joe's number. Joe, what's your phone number?
Oh, Joe's no. Okay.
I need the one in front or just the
Uh,
1-210
One.
861-4648.
Great. Now go to policy. Now it's gonna ask you right here, what's the policy number? You're gonna see there's two policy numbers. It's gonna say 418 and 418. So she has two policies in this one. So select the top one. Most 99% is the top one. And then claim, leave blank. Now select reminder. Now let me give you an idea what the reminder is. So Joe, if I'm calling you and I want you to respond to me that you're gonna pay me next week. Okay, so I called Joe, I text messaged Joe and I told Joe, hey, I'm gonna make a payment, and payment is due.
Next week.
Next week? Okay, when can you come to make a payment? Next week on what day?
On the 22nd.
On the 22nd, perfectly. So what Rhonda's gonna do is she's gonna put a reminder on the 22nd. So what she's gonna do on the 22nd, when she comes in, she's gonna get a pretty email with the note that she's leaving on the account saying that, Mr. Joe's gonna come in and make a payment on the 22nd. Automatically, isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to. So right now, if a model, someone comes and tells you, I'm making a payment next week, what do you do right now? The customer tells you, hey model, I'm gonna make a payment next week. What do you do?
I manually type it on my Google Calendar.
You manually type it in Google Calendar, right? Okay, what do you think your agents do?
They did it on a sticky note.
A sticky note, you're right.
Well, reminder, the date.
Exactly, that's what we're gonna do now. So now instead of you creating invites and all that stuff, you can do that as well, right? All you do is you put the date, 22nd, it defaults to 8 in the morning, you put your username, you send it, and that's all you do. So on May 22nd, Joe's gonna walk into, oh, not Joe, I'm sorry. I'm gonna walk into my office, and that morning I'm gonna message saying that Joe needs to make his payment because he promised to make a payment. So now I don't have to worry about, okay, well, did I put it on my calendar? The system is automatically gonna notify me this. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it is. So then you choose to use it. Now, reminder, you can unselect it.
Unselect.
Yeah. And now what you wanna do is just put add notes. New note's been added. Okay, great. It's okay. And scroll, and you see the note is already there. Joe, did you get a text message?
Whoa.
Oh, you got a message. Who messaged you? Let's find out.
I got a message from Freedom Insurance Company. Good afternoon, this is Rhonda. Liberty Tax. Just sending you a friendly note. Your auto ship payment.
I don't know who Rhonda is.
Exactly.
Joe, so what I would like for you to do is send me a message back. It's gonna mind blow you. If you don't mind, and you better clap for this. You're gonna have to clap for this.
I know those people.
Hey, can we export our clients from the taxes?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
George, how does a reminder come to you in the morning? As an email, as how do you get that reminder?
It will come in as an email. So exactly the same message you put here, you get this exact same notification back on email.
So in the morning when you go into your office, you check all your emails. And so that's how you know
Yeah,
You get that email.
yeah, I'm always on my email. So when I see things coming in, you'll know that's coming in. Exactly. So you're gonna get a message that day, says information from the client. You'll see the customer's information on top, customer's policy number, and then you see the name and policy number. You open, you see the customer's information. Then you call the customer from there. Did you send me a message, Joe?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Loranda. Give her a round of applause. Okay, so
That was quick.
it was quick. So now we're here. Okay, so now we got that going. Let me see. Oh, someone gave me a text. Let's see who it was. Let's see who sent me a text. Joe, is that what you text me?
That's it.
Look at that. Whoa. Instant results right away. Now,
It didn't come from your
Everybody
email,
copy
it
Joe's
came
number.
from the same system.
yeah, so it's for the same system. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm not using any system. Now, this is just a text message thing, but now,
Okay, so
look, I want to show you something. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to Marisol's account so you can see it on a live form, on the way it's going to look. So Joe sent me a message, says, okay, thank you. Now, as we know, look at that note. Look at that note right there. We sent him a message from Loranda, and now it's replied right there. It's in his account. It cannot be erased. It's documented with accountability, and now you know what's going on with the customer. So now if someone calls customer, if someone looks at the profile tomorrow, they know the message has been sent, and the customer's replied. Isn't that great? Yeah. Is that what's, so, I don't know, but I get excited by this stuff.
Because I know that clients with Progressive also.
Through their system? No.
No, it's only through email.
Yeah. They send them emails. If you request paperless, they'll send you emails on payment reminders, things like that. And all carriers do payment reminders as well. But they don't do text reminders. That's the only thing. And once again, the text messaging is like, it's a new thing in. It's like the next social media. People are always texting. People are always on their phones, and people are always checking it very quick. It's a very quick way to get people to know, hey, the payment is due. So we got that there. Now that we got that, so we got the past due payments, we got the upcoming payments. I got one more thing to show you on this, is the payment summary. Oh, sorry, I got trigger happy there. Let me use the mouse a little bit. So as we get this, we're gonna go through the payment summary. So the payment summary is, how am I doing today? I showed you past due, I showed you upcoming. What am I doing today? That's basically what I want to know, right? Well, let's find out. So today we're supposed to collect $274.91. We collected $255.13. So today we're only missing $19.78. Woo, it's a good day. We collected all the payments for today, except $19.78. So we got to look at the $19.78, see where it's from, and collect from the customer. Now, once again, you're gonna see yesterday. So yesterday, we collected $487, but we collected $817.39. So we got $332. So let me ask, why did we collect more? Previous balances, now they're paying sooner, right? We called the next day, they took the payment. That's what the power of text messaging can do. That's the power of having a CRM and all your customers' information in one place, and to making sure that everything's good to go. And overall, this will help you. This will help you keep track of your clients. This will help you making sure that. This will overall help you making sure that you take care of your clients. It will help you making sure that you take care of them as much as possible. Get back to them as soon as possible. And overall, it will save you time and money because you no longer have to go to every single carrier. I only need one thing from y'all. And the thing I'm gonna need from y'all is making sure that you work very hard and you're very committed to making sure that you do it every single day. It's part of your life. It's part of your business to go in there and add every single customer. Because if you want to save money, if you want to grow your business, that's the way to do it. We've got to be operators. We've got to make sure that we're taking care of our clients, documenting them, and making sure we know where our money is going. If you do not know where your money is going, there's an issue, and we need to fix it. So the next part of this presentation, we're going to go over, what's that? Yeah, you got to figure that. Like that. So we're going to save you some time and money. So once again, it has a sales goal tracking system. You improve customer retention with this. You can track all your customers in one single location. You can text message your client. I love that feature, by the way. It's phenomenal with that, right? You can text message all your clients. You get automatic birthday messages sent out to the customer via email. Via email, they automatically get customer emails. Let them know they have their birthday. Automatically, the system does it for them. You can create notes for the customer, and it's accountability tool for them. So overall, now we talked about customers that have policies with you. But what happens if they don't have a policy with you? Well, if they don't have a policy with you, then you can still create them as a prospect, and you can still do all the nice features that I said with them as a lead. So if you go marketing somewhere and you get 20 leads, you can add 20 leads into the system, put notes in there. You can send them text messages. You can send them emails. You can do all this. And then once you get them as a customer, you can add the policy in there. So you can see the track record of what you're doing to get that lead. Isn't that amazing? Good. Awesome. I'm almost done, David. Okay, so recommendations from calling the customers. Now, I told you earlier, I got some recommendations from you, and this is what I got from all your customers. So calling customers for upcoming payments and past due payments, 5 days to be calling customers. Now, originally I was thinking 7 to 14. I just think it's too far. People don't think that far back. So I already think 5 days is good. You call the customer 5 days prior, your payment is due, and you reach out to them every 2 to 3 days, we'll be fine. You don't want to bombard them every single day where they'll block you and not answer your messages anymore. So every few days is good. You should message them to the payment is due, then message them when the payment is past due. And I promise you, once the payment is past due, still reach out to them. Maybe a few days afterwards. Try text, try calling, try smoke signal, go to their house, do whatever you got to do, but get that customer. You want to call for cancellations. Once again, the policy cancels, you can see it right away. Past due payments, once again, you can see that right away. And a lot of people miss one thing, and that is calling cancel policies. Everybody, we see a lot of opportunity there as well, where someone stops doing business with you, they don't want to do business with us anymore. No, there could be different reasons. They didn't have maybe money one week. Maybe they had money a different week and they tried to go somewhere else. But why did they go somewhere else? Did we not create a customer experience for the customer to where they would still want to come back to us? Where did we drop the bomb? What can we do differently? And I promise you, by calling back a customer and finding out these things, you can find ways to get that customer back. There's always a way. Even if there's an upset customer, you can find a way to win the customer back. You just gotta go all out for that customer and tell him you're gonna change the customer experience for them. Whew, that was a good one, wasn't it? So now we're gonna do the do it with me. Now for the do it with me. Sure.
You probably did go over that with it. Is there like a consent form that the client needs to sign for us to be able to do the text messaging?
Right now, the consent form you can use is we're here to help form.
Okay.
The we're here to help form will allow us to go ahead and do that for you.
On the thing, it's showed payments, is that not available feature yet with the invoice and take the payment through the fix?
Yes, you can take the payment through the fix. With the Go Payment Fix, with the Go Payments, right now you can use the system to use it. That's correct.
Where is there like an option where it will show that they're option to receive text messages?
No, there isn't. At the moment, there isn't. So right now, it's kind of it's like a free for all in a kind of way right now. I don't think there's a way to opt out of it right now. Right now, if they do the where to help, you can just message the clients. If they choose not to be messaged, just put in the kind of the message, hey, customer doesn't want to be messaged. Then we'll go by there at that point. Okay. I hope I answered your questions there. So now, let me ask you this. Did I like throw the water hose on y'all today and give you a lot of information? Was that a lot?
Yeah.
So I do believe the property and casualty, the auto, home, and commercial, it's a big game. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of servicing we got to do. But overall, it's a good way to get more customers. It's a good way to create value. It's a good way to make sure you create year-round support. And so we create what's called the Do It With Me program. The Do It With Me program is something we're going to do to help you through this process, because I know some of you may need help with auto, home, or even commercial. So we want to guide you through the process. So in doing this, what we can do for you in this program, we're going to do is we're going to shadow you through a live customer. So let's say Jim Clark calls me, hey, George, I have a question on do workers' comp. How can we do this? Or, commercial. Sure. What computer are you on? With the tools that we gave you in our resource tab on the platforms that we're using, download TeamViewer, make sure it's on your computers. And you know what, Jim? Let's log in right now and I can show you what to do. We're going to walk you through the process. If we do the process for you, you're never going to learn. So we're going to do it with you. And we're going to guide you. Hey, Jim, this is what you do here, how you navigate here. So we're going to do here, and we're going to walk you through the policy from beginning to end. Does that sound better? Does that sound great? Yeah. Would that build confidence for you and your team? Yeah. That's what we want to do. Now, we're going to help you step-by-step direction. We're going to help you complete our procedures, such as completing a policy, entering to the sales log if you need help. If you need help with the fix system, we're going to help you with the fix system as well. And we're going to help you fill out our forms and take any calls if you need to. We're committed into helping you grow, and I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. If you're committed to us, you're committed to growing, you're committed to servicing customers, I promise you, I'm 100% committed to you all the way. Now, I want to kind of make this in a good way where, fortunately, sometimes if you call, is not going to be are you there instantly kind of way. Sometimes we have girls and they're on the phone with other people. And you see there's a lot of you in here. So if we are servicing a client already, you will be put on a kind of wait list, right? Yeah, we'll call you back in a couple of minutes and we'll get to you as soon as possible. But I promise you, we will get back to you. We will help you as much as possible, and we will service that client for you. But overall, this all goes back into making sure that you're attending all proper trainings. This goes back into making sure that when you leave this training today, all the money that you spend here, all the fajitas you ate, everything you did, right, is they're going to pay off, or we're going to go back and we're going to put a plan in action to making sure that we change our business from here forward. Because if you're spending a few days here, I mean, you're committed already. That means we got to go back. We got to put our focus where it needs to be. And we got to make sure that we take this to a whole new level. Now, I don't know if you're excited by this, but this is actually my last slide. Are y'all excited by that? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Even my mouse pad was excited. So this is your call to action. This is the action I want you to take as soon as you leave here today, or if you have beers, maybe tomorrow when you go back to the office, right? But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to make sure your team gets licensed. That is a big priority. Making sure that your team gets the limited lines license, and also we also get you also with general lines, property and casualty license as well for some of your team. We notice that there's always one license for the franchisee, but none of your agents are growing in general lines because we're always pushing limited lines because it's the easiest, and I get it. But we got to make sure your team's getting limited license, and we have to make sure that they send us information so we can get access to the portal. We can make sure that we're sending notifications to your team, and we can make sure that they're getting all the good information that you're getting as well. We're going to be sending out PNC trainings that will be sent out every week. Please make time to attend these trainings. These trainings are live. They're given to by reps. These trainings are to give you more insight on carrier information. They're there to give you new agents' understanding of the carrier, what you can do, what you can't do, discounts. A lot of questions that you currently have is given in the trainings as well. So I do encourage you to have your team attend. And if your team is off that day, hey, look at it at home. Hey, just take 30 minutes out of your day. Every training that we make them under 30 minutes. It's very rare we do over 30 minutes, and that's how we want to make it short, quick. We can consume the information, and then you go on with your day. And you can apply it when you go back to the office. So once again, we have a roadmap for you. The roadmap, as I showed you when we first came in, it's on your
Recorded too, correct?
That's correct. They're recorded, so if you do need to see them, we'll send them to you right after as well.
So we could actually have a day with our staff watching.
That's correct. You can do that. And we're going to have a video library for you as well. We can go in there. You can see all the videos in your video library. And yeah, so besides that, we also have the follow roadmap. Once again, I showed you at the very beginning, we have a roadmap to success where we want to get you licensed. We want to get you carrier certified. We want to get you turbo rater certified, form certified, fix certified, and everything certified. We want you tip top shape by the time next year comes around. And please don't wait till the end of the year. You start knocking them down. I will get with you and make sure we knock that out for you. Last thing, one of the last two things, set up a one-on-one with George. Set up one, George. So I want you to set up a one-on-one with me for some of you and for all of you actually, and we're gonna put a game plan together. We're gonna tackle this head on. I'm gonna see what obstacles you're having. We're gonna put a plan and act. We're gonna put a action plan together, and we're gonna conquer this. We're gonna see what's going on, what's stopping you. We're gonna figure out what we can do better, what can we change, and we're gonna get you selling. And for some of you that are newer, and I'm glad that you're on our team, we're gonna tell you the first steps you should be doing, what you should do next. Make sure everything's working properly for you, making sure that you are good to go on everything. Last thing we're gonna do is we want you to, once we get all that going, once we start getting you trained, which gets you licensed, we have one-on-ones, we want you to start calling your warm market. And once again, once we have the one-on-one, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But what I want you to do is we want you to get lists ready and call your family and friends, anybody you haven't called first. And then we want you to call your current customers. And then from there, once we do that effectively, then what we'll do is we'll tackle on some other things that we can do to help you grow. Does everybody get it? Everybody get it? Say aye. There you go. So last, man. Man, that's slow. Okay, by the way, guys, so this is my information. Please take a picture of it. If you don't have my name, I hope you know my name right now. It's George, right? You can always email me at george@freedompolicy.com. That's my phone number. You can always call me, text message me. I'm always available for you if you ever need anything. My number is 956-245-8767. So with that being said, guys, I'm really once again, I'm honored to having you here. Let me talk in front of y'all, and y'all have an amazing day. Okay.